Ethan believed his room was the quietest place on the station. It was small, narrow, and built for one person only. One bed, one desk, one wall screen, and a thin window that showed stars sliding by like slow snow. He liked it that way. After long shifts monitoring station systems, silence helped him think. That night, the silence ended. A soft chime echoed through the room, followed by the glow of the door panel. Ethan sat up in bed, blinking at the sudden light. Station notifications usually came during work hours, not during rest cycle. He rubbed his eyes and reached for the panel. Before he could answer, the door slid open. 2 station officials stepped inside, their expressions calm but careful. Between them stood someone Ethan had never seen before. She was small, shorter than him, even while standing straight. Her skin shimmered faintly, like moonlight on water, shifting colors softly with every breath. Her large eyes reflected the room lights, and thin markings glowed along her arms in gentle patterns. Ethan froze. "This is not a drill," one of the officials said quickly, as if reading his thoughts. "Please remain calm." Ethan remained very still. Calm was difficult. The alien girl stood close to the doorway, her hands clasped tightly together. Her eyes moved around the room, stopping on the bed, the walls, the window. When her gaze landed on Ethan, she stiffened slightly, then tilted her head. "She is part of the Interstellar Exchange Program," the other official explained. "Due to an unexpected compatibility issue, we need to house her here, temporarily." Ethan stared at them, then at her, then back at them. "My room?" he asked. "Yes, but it's a single-occupant room. We are aware. And you're telling me this now?" "Yes." The alien girl made a soft sound, not quite a word. The translator disc at her collar glowed, then spoke in careful English. "I am sorry for the disturbance." Her voice was gentle. It trembled slightly. Ethan swallowed.
"Hello." She seemed to relax just a little at that.
The officials moved quickly, as if hoping speed would solve the problem. "Her name is Lyra. Her species does not respond well to isolation, especially in unfamiliar environments. There were complications in the assigned habitat." "What kind of complications?" Ethan asked. The officials exchanged a look. "She refused to sleep." Ethan blinked. "That's it. She has been awake for 36 hours, one of them said. Medical staff are concerned."
Ethan looked at Lyra again. Up close, the glow of her skin was brighter, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat.
She looked exhausted, not just tired, but strained, like someone holding themselves together by will alone.
"Why my room?" Ethan asked.
"You scored high on psychological adaptability screenings," they said. "And your quarters are closest." Ethan opened his mouth to argue, then stopped. Lyra swayed slightly on her feet. "Okay," he said quietly. The officials looked relieved. They handed him a small data pad. Basic guidelines. Translation settings. Emergency contact. "We'll check in after rest cycle." And just like that, they left. The door slid shut. Silence returned, but it was different now. He could feel it pressing in from the walls. Lyra stood near the door, not moving. Her eyes were wide again, fixed on the shadows in the corners of the room. The lights dimmed automatically, signaling night cycle. She flinched. "No," she said softly. The translator repeated it, clearer this time. "Please." "No, dark." Ethan hurried to the wall panel and turned the lights back up. The glow on her skin settled a little, the color smoothing out.
"Sorry," he said. "I didn't think."
"It is not your fault," Lyra replied. "This place is very quiet." Ethan let out a small breath. "Yeah, it usually is." She hesitated, then asked, "Will you leave?" He frowned.
"Leave where?" "When you sleep," she said. "Will you go away?" Ethan shook his head. No.
I sleep here. Her shoulders relaxed a fraction. He gestured awkwardly toward the bed. You can take the bed. I'll use the chair or something. Her eyes widened again. No, I cannot sleep alone, she said. The words came faster now, like they were pushing their way out. If you leave, my mind will react badly. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. I'm not leaving. I just thought. She stepped closer without meaning to, then froze, realizing the distance she had crossed. Her skin glowed brighter, then dimmed again, embarrassed.
I am sorry, she said quickly.
It's okay, Ethan said. You're not doing anything wrong. They stood there, unsure. Two strangers sharing a space never meant for more than one. Finally, Ethan sat down on the edge of the bed. Okay, let's figure this out. Lyra watched him carefully, as if waiting for a trap. Can you sleep if I'm here? He asked.
Everyone you got upstairs out of that raid, but don't have the doubt.
Yes, she said, if I can sense another presence.
If there is sound, stillness without awareness is dangerous for my kind. Sound? Ethan repeated. Like talking? Yes? He nodded slowly. I can talk. Her eyes softened. Thank you. She sat on the far side of the bed, leaving careful space between them. The mattress dipped slightly under her weight, her glow reflected off the wall, painting it in soft colors. Ethan leaned back against the headboard, heart racing. He had worked around alien tech, alien languages, alien systems. But this was different. This was personal space. Shared air. Shared quiet.
So, he said, grasping for something normal. You're part of the exchange program? Yes, I study comparative social survival behaviors.
He blinked. That's a big name? She tilted her head. I study how different species stay sane. He let out a surprised laugh. That sounds important. It is, she said seriously. Many species explore space. Few understand loneliness. That word hung between them. The station hummed softly around them. Pipes whispered. Distant machinery pulsed like a giant sleeping creature. Lyra's glow flickered again. May I ask something? Sure. Why do humans live alone? She asked. Your kind forms families, yet you choose separation. Ethan thought about it.
I guess we like independence, but we still need people.
We just balance it. She considered this. You are comfortable with silence. Sometimes, he said.
Sometimes it's too much. Her eyes met his. Then you understand. Minutes passed.
He kept talking about his job, about the stars outside, about how the station always smelled faintly like metal and recycled air. Lyra listened, her breathing slowing, her glow settling into a steady rhythm. Eventually, her eyes closed. Ethan kept talking anyway. He stayed awake long after his own eyes wanted to shut, listening to her breathe, realizing that for the first time, his quiet room didn't feel empty. And somewhere deep in the station's logs, unnoticed for now, the sensors recorded something unusual. For the first time since arriving, the alien guest was sleeping peacefully. Ethan woke up to light, not the sharp white station lights, but soft color moving across the walls. For a moment, he thought he was dreaming. Then he remembered. Lyra. He sat up slowly, careful not to move too fast. She was still on the bed, curled slightly on her side. Her skin glowed in slow, calm waves of blue and green, like a quiet ocean. Each breath matched the light. She looked peaceful in a way that felt fragile, as if a loud sound could break it. Ethan stayed still. He checked the time on his wrist display. He had slept less than 3 hours. His shift started soon, but for once, he didn't feel annoyed. Tired, yes, but not unhappy. The room felt different. Not crowded, not wrong. Just shared. Lyra stirred. The glow on her skin shifted suddenly, brightening, then dimming again. Her eyes opened, wide at first, then slowly focused. When she saw Ethan sitting nearby, her shoulders relaxed. "You are still here," she said softly.
"Yeah," you replied. "Morning."
"Is it morning?" "Station version of it," he said. "Artificial sun, artificial schedule." She studied the wall lights. "Strange. Your world pretends."
He smiled. "Pretty much." She sat up, holding the blanket carefully, as if unsure whether it belonged to her.
"I slept," she said, sounding surprised. "You did," Ethan said. "Like a rock." Her glow pulsed brighter for a second. "Thank you."
I didn't really do anything. You stayed, she said simply. That is not nothing.
A soft chime sounded at the door panel. Ethan frowned. Already, before he could answer, the door slid open. 2 medical staff stepped inside, followed by a station observer holding a tablet. All 3 stopped when they saw Lyra awake and calm. "She's stable," one of them said slowly. Lyra looked at them, then closer to Ethan. Her glow dimmed slightly. "You can come in," Ethan said. "She's okay." They approached carefully, scanning her vitals from a distance. Numbers flickered across their screens. "This is the lowest stress reading we've recorded since her arrival," the observer said. "How did you manage that?" Ethan shrugged. "We talked." The observer blinked. "That's it?" "I guess," Ethan said. "I didn't want her to panic." Lyra looked between them. "He provided presence," she said. "Your systems cannot." The medical staff exchanged looks that mixed confusion and interest. "We'll need to update the report," one of them said. "For now, she can remain here." Ethan opened his mouth. "Remain?" "Yes," the observer said. "At least until we redesign her assigned habitat." Lyra's glow flickered, this time in what Ethan now recognized as worry. "Will he be removed?" "No," the observer said quickly.
"You will remain together." She let out a slow breath. After they left, the room felt quiet again.
But not uncomfortable. Ethan stood and stretched. "I need to get ready for work." Her eyes followed him. "Will you return?" "Yeah," he said. "Same time." She hesitated. "May I stay?" He smiled. "It's your room too for now." Her glow warmed. While Ethan worked that day, the station buzzed with quiet curiosity. News spread carefully, in controlled channels. An alien guest sleeping peacefully in a human's private quarters was not part of the original plan. Researchers reviewed footage, audio logs, stress graphs. The conclusion was simple and deeply confusing. Human behavior, unstructured, emotional, and informal, was working better than advanced alien medical protocols. Back in the room, Lyra explored cautiously. She touched the desk, the chair, the wall screen. She stood by the window for a long time, watching stars drift past. When Ethan returned, she turned toward the sound of the door opening, her glow brightening instantly. "You came back," she said. "Told you I would." Her shoulders lowered again. That night, she asked more questions. "Do humans always live this way?" She asked. "One room, one person." "Not always," Ethan said, "but a lot of us do." "Does it not hurt?" He thought about it.
"Sometimes, but we get used to it."
"Oh, we distract ourselves with work," she said. "Yeah, with work."
She was quiet for a moment, my people.
Do not distract. We connect.
That sounds nice, Ethan said. It is, she agreed.
But it makes us weak when alone. Ethan looked at her. I don't think that's weakness. She tilted her head.
You are kind to say that. Over the next few cycles, a routine formed. Ethan talked. Lyra listened. Sometimes she spoke about her home. Vast living structures grown, not built, filled with constant motion and sound. Sometimes she asked about Earth, about why humans joked when afraid, or why they helped even when there was no rule requiring it. At night, she slept easily now. During the day, she stayed close. The station took notice. Other alien visitors began to show signs of stress. Isolation pods, once considered advanced and efficient, were failing. Panic levels rose. A researcher watched the data and whispered, "It's the humans." A meeting was called. Ethan was summoned. He sat across from a group of officials, uncomfortable in a chair too stiff for long talks. "You understand what you're doing is unusual," one of them said. "I'm just being normal," Ethan replied.
"That may be the issue," another said. "Human normal may be..."
Exceptional. They asked him questions.
How did he know when to talk? When to stay silent? Why did he remain when he was tired? Ethan answered honestly, because leaving felt wrong. They dismissed him with more questions than answers. That night, Lyra sensed his unease. "You are troubled," she said. "Yeah," he admitted. "They're watching us." Her glow dimmed. "Am I causing you harm?" "No," he said quickly. "Not you. Just attention." She moved a little closer. "I will leave if required." The words hit harder than he expected. "You don't have to," he said. "You're safe here." She studied his face carefully.
Humans protect without ownership, she said slowly. That is rare. He smiled tiredly.
"We just don't like seeing people scared." She lay down that night without hesitation. As her eyes closed, she reached out, then stopped, unsure. Ethan noticed. "It's okay," he said. She gently rested her hand on the blanket near his arm. Not touching. Just close enough. Her glow softened. Across the station, reports were updated. New terms were added to alien psychology databases. Human presence effect. Emotional anchor response. Adaptive companionship. None of them fully explained it. In the quiet room, under artificial stars, Ethan stayed awake a little longer than usual. Not because he had to, but because someone needed him to. The station did not panic loudly. It never did. Panic on a place like that came quietly, hidden behind sealed doors and calm system voices. Ethan noticed it first in the way the hallways felt emptier. On his walk back from work, lights stayed brighter than normal, and the station voice repeated safety messages more often. Nothing urgent, nothing alarming. But the air felt tight, like everyone was holding their breath at the same time. When he opened the door to his room, Lyra turned toward him immediately. Her skin brightened and flickered in uneven patterns. "You are late," she said. "Only a little," Ethan replied, dropping his bag.
Something going on? Yes, she said. Many of us feel it. He frowned.
"Feel what?" She hesitated, searching for words. "Separation. Anticipation of being alone."
Ethan sat down slowly. That bad? She nodded.
Your station is changing patterns. Doors close longer.
Voices are fewer. As if on cue, the station voice spoke softly from the wall. "Attention. Due to ongoing adjustments, several communal areas will remain closed during rest cycle." Lyra's glow dimmed sharply. "No," she whispered. Ethan stood up. Hey, it's okay. You're not alone. She looked at him, eyes wide. But others are. That night, sleep did not come easily. Lyra rested, but her glow never fully settled. It pulsed in restless waves, reacting to distant signals only she could sense. Ethan stayed awake longer than usual, listening to the hum of the station and the soft sound of her breathing. Somewhere far away, a door sealed. Somewhere else, an alien visitor sat alone in a room built for comfort, but not for fear. The next day, the first alert appeared in Ethan's work feed. Elevated stress readings across non-human guests. Isolation response increasing. Standard calming protocols ineffective. Ethan stared at the screen. At lunch, whispers followed him. Humans and non-humans alike glanced his way, some curious, some hopeful. He heard his name more than once. By mid-cycle, a message arrived on his personal device.
Report to Central Commons. Voluntary.
He hesitated, then went. The commons were different now. Furniture had been moved into loose clusters. Humans sat casually, some talking, some just present. A few alien visitors stood nearby, unsure, but watching closely. An official approached Ethan.
We need your help with what? Ethan asked, though he already knew. You and others like you, the official said carefully, seem to have a stabilizing effect. Ethan looked around.
You want us to what? Hang out? Yes, the official said. Be available. Talk. Stay. That's not a protocol, Ethan said. No, the official agreed. But it's working. Lyra waited anxiously when he returned.
They asked you to leave, she said before he could speak. No, Ethan said quickly.
They asked me to stay. Just...
Not only here. Her glow flickered with mixed emotions.
You will go. I'll come back, he said. I promise. She studied him for a long moment.
Then she nodded.
I trust you. The trust felt heavy, precious.
That evening, Ethan sat in the commons with strangers. Humans talked about ordinary things. Weather simulations. Old movies. Food shortages back home. Nothing important. Everything important. Aliens approached slowly, one by one. They sat close enough to hear voices. Some did not speak at all. They just stayed. Sensors began to change. Stress levels dropped. Heart rates steadied. Neural patterns smoothed. Scientists watched in disbelief. One report noted, humans do not require purpose to provide comfort. By the third night, the station changed strategy. Doors were left open. Rooms connected. Lights softened instead of dimming. Ethan's room became a small center of gravity. Lyra noticed immediately when others began to visit. A tall being with glass-like skin stood uncertainly near the doorway. A smaller one hovered, producing faint musical tones of anxiety. They are afraid, Lyra said quietly. Yeah, Ethan said. Come in. They did. No one slept alone that night. Humans gave up privacy without complaint. They pulled chairs closer. They talked until voices went hoarse. They stayed awake longer than they should have, not because they were ordered to, because it felt right. Lyra watched it all, her glow shifting in colors Ethan had never seen before. This is not instinct, she said softly. This is choice. Yeah? Ethan said. We choose people. Later, when the room finally quieted, Lyra spoke again. My species believed humans were fragile, she said. You lack constant connection. You endure silence. Ethan smiled faintly. We'd get lonely. Yes, she said. But you do not break. The station logs filled with new data. Human endurance during emotional labor, unusually high. Willingness to sacrifice comfort for others, extreme. Calming effect unrelated to biology or technology. One scientist wrote a private note. Humans are not fearless. They are patient with fear. The crisis passed without alarms, without damage, without force. When isolation protocols were lifted, no one rushed back to their private rooms. Some chose to stay together longer. Lyra stood by the window later, watching stars drift by. "Ethan," she said. "Yeah? When I return home, I will be asked to explain humans?" He laughed quietly. "Good luck with that." "I will tell them this," she said. Humans survive alone so they can choose togetherness. Not because they need it, but because they want it. He looked at her, surprised. "That sounds important," he said. "It is," she replied. That night the station slept. Not perfectly, but together. The station felt different in the final days. Not quieter, not louder. Just warmer. People noticed it in small ways. Doors stayed open longer. Lights dimmed more gently. Voices carried through hallways without anyone asking them to stop. Even the station systems adjusted, learning patterns that had never been written into code. Ethan felt it when he woke up. Lyra was already awake, sitting near the window. Her glow was soft and steady, not anxious, not restless. She watched the stars with a calm focus that had been missing when she first arrived.
"You are thinking," Ethan said. "Yes," she replied.
About leaving. He sat up slowly. "You got your recall notice?" She nodded. "My people are ready to receive me." He expected the words to hurt more than they did. Instead, they felt heavy, like something important being set down carefully. "That's good," he said. "Right?" "Yes," she said.
It is necessary. She turned to face him, but difficult. The day passed with quiet preparation.
Officials came and went. Equipment was packed. Reports were finalized. The exchange program, once fragile and uncertain, was now being described as a success across interstellar channels. A success because of humans, because of shared rooms, shared time, shared silence, filled with presence. Ethan walked the station one last time with Lyra. Everywhere they went, people greeted them. Humans smiled. Aliens inclined heads, changed colors, hummed soft tones of respect.
"She is the one," Ethan heard someone whisper. "The first who slept."
Lyra noticed too. "They see me as a symbol," she said softly. "You kind of are," Ethan said.
"But you're still you."
She seemed to like that answer. In the Central Commons, a small gathering formed. No ceremony, no speeches, just people standing together, close enough to feel real. An official cleared their throat.
"We have learned much from this exchange," they said, "about biology."
About psychology, about design. They paused, then added, "but mostly about humanity." Ethan shifted uncomfortably. Lyra stepped forward. "When I arrived," she said, her voice steady through the translator, "I believed humans were alone because they were strong." She looked around the room. "I was wrong. Humans are strong because they understand loneliness." No one spoke. "You sit with fear," she continued. "You do not erase it. You do not flee it. You stay." Her glow brightened gently. "My people will change how we travel, how we build, how we live. Because of you." Ethan felt heat behind his eyes. Later, at the departure gate, the room felt too large. The ship waited beyond the barrier, smooth and unfamiliar. Lyra stood at the edge, hands clasped, glow shifting with emotion she did not try to hide. "I will not forget this place," she said. "Neither will I," Ethan replied. She hesitated. "When I am alone again, I will remember that I survived it once." He smiled. "That's kind of the human way?" She stepped closer, then stopped. "May I?" She placed her hand lightly over his heart, careful, respectful. Her glow matched his pulse for just a moment. "Thank you," she said. Then she turned and walked into the ship. The barrier closed. The ship departed. The stars returned to their slow drift. Ethan stood there longer than necessary. Life returned to routine, but the routine had changed. New habitats were built with shared spaces at their core. Exchange programs assigned humans not as observers, but as anchors. Training manuals included something called unstructured companionship. Ethan went back to work. His room felt quiet again, but not empty. Sometimes he talked anyway.
Across the stars, Lyra stood before her people. She spoke of humans who stayed awake when tired.
Of rooms that were small but safe. Of a species that could endure isolation, not because they liked it, but because it gave them the power to choose connection. Her people listened. Plans changed. The galaxy adjusted, and humanity earned a new reputation. Not conquerors, not warriors, but something rarer. The ones who would not let anyone face the dark alone. Far away, Ethan lay on his bed, staring at the stars, smiling softly. He didn't feel lonely. Not anymore.